What's up, gwan everybody? It's Marie the Simmer, and welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you're a returner. Thank you so much for stopping by. Today's video is a little bit different than my usual. It's not gameplay, it's a tutorial. I love to do recolors in my game. I like to add little tidbits and little Easter eggs from my lore just in my world, whether it be a t-shirt or a poster or whatever it may be. In today's video, I'll be showing you the little tricks and tidbits I know and how to recolor an object. I will be doing a magazine frame. I will make this a 3-part series: recoloring an object, recoloring hair, and recoloring clothes. Those are the 3 things I know how to recolor. So here we are with a magazine recoloring tutorial. We are here in the beautiful Newcrest with my favorite model, Catalina Diaz. I have her story on my TikTok, bits and pieces. I have not been consistent with my girl. I really think I should bring her to my channel for like bits and pieces when I do play her. I love playing her. She's a ex-preschool teacher from San Myshuno who now is a full-time model. She got discovered in San Myshuno Times Square, and this is now her job. She's making buku money on it, and who better than her to do this tutorial with? So with any recolor, you do need your own swatches. So that is what I'm currently doing. I'm currently taking pictures of my own swatches. I decided I wanted to do magazine frames in like a lore way. It's gonna be a editorial and designing house that I'm currently building. They are going to need evidence of their work, essentially. I will show you guys how to edit a custom object and also a base game object. So let's take pictures of our simi for our swatch. So here we are outside of our game. You can save your game after your pictures if you want. I don't usually. I exit the game and I'm now in a photo editing software. I use Photoshop, but if you want to use something free, I do suggest Canva. We are going to edit our picture to our liking. I personally think my picture is already pretty nice, but if I want to do anything extra, I'll just add an extra layer. I'll see if I like any of the extra warmth on here. I kind of like this. I'm gonna add some warmth to my picture, but not too much. We're gonna merge all the backgrounds together. Then we're gonna do a filter, sharpen. I like to use smart sharpen just to get my lines a little crisper. So I think that's pretty good. And we will hit a merge visible. And I like my picture, so I'll hit save on my picture. We are now in Canva. Again, the photo editing portion that I did in Photoshop could be done in Canva as well. I just prefer to use Photoshop adjustments and smart sharpening. Here we are in Canva. The first thing I do is hit create. Then I type in magazine. Oh my gosh, magazine cover. So the options are magazine cover, fashion, travel, food, sports, teen, and wedding. I think the dimensions are all the same, so it doesn't really matter which one you pick. I just picked fashion. Now we have a basic letterhead dimension to place our picture on. I now need inspiration. How am I going to make this magazine frame picture? I need to look at other magazines. I personally like to use Pinterest, so let's head to Pinterest. Here we are in Pinterest. I'll just look up magazine covers to see if I have any juices flowing from other people's like inspiration and vibes. I like this one, but I didn't take a picture that's giving grungy. I'm doing a picture more so like an expose, like one of these situation. I do love this one with Ariana from Vogue. Love that one. I like this one by Billboard. We're gonna do something quirky and fun like this, but obviously not Billboard because our girl is a model. So I see that it has a barcode, so let me go and look up barcodes. I have Canva Premium, so I will be using the Canva Pro plan and getting these barcodes. However, I do believe there's some free ones in the mix as well. I will use this barcode because my other swatches have this barcode on it. I'll plop it down at the bottom right there. Now I want words and like cool edits situation like this. Now I can go into text and go to add a heading. I can type in, where do I think this will be on? Maybe L? I think L is just L. I don't think the words magazine are on L's magazine. So we're just gonna put the word L. And we have little excerpts like the issuing date, some cool little graphics, and that's what we're gonna add right now. So just add a bunch of smaller situations around the page and just map out how you want everything to essentially look. So this is how I want my general mapping to look. I'll add in my text after I do my picture and stuff. So once you hit upload files button, you have to direct your Canva to exactly where you've stored your picture. I stored my picture in my G-Shade Pics file, so I've clicked it and hit open. Now we have our picture. I will hit a right click on said picture and set image as background just to fill it out to the whole magazine. There we go. I do like that. I like the words to be a little bigger because it's the heading. It should grab you. And we have a basic situation of how I want this to look. I think it's going pretty well so far. However, I like my sim worlds to stay Simlish. So I like to look up Sims for Simlish fonts. So I have a list here already that I will link in the description below, and I got it from Tumblr. This is a list I think everyone has used to get Simlish fonts into their game. You can go through the list and pick whichever font you like and whichever one speaks to you. There's over 168 fonts. You'll find something. I like 166. It's Simlish Manbo Solid. It looks a little retro, looks a little cool, funky. Why not? Download through Sim File Share. Once downloaded, head to your downloads folder. It'll come as a zip file. Extract that zip and get the folder by itself. Now you have all your fonts that you can use. Once open and unzipped, head back to Canva. Now that you're back in Canva, hit on your font in your project. You'll see the font pop up here, and once you click it, you have all options of the different fonts you can change it to. However, your Simlish font isn't there, so you have to hit upload a font. Once you hit upload a font, it will direct you back to your windows and you'll just go to wherever you have that font sitting. I have it in my downloads folder. I haven't moved it. We're going to hit the one I liked. We're going to hit open and I hit confirm and upload. Now let's find said font, which I believe is this one right here. And now you can type whatever you want because I don't really care what it says. And I have other swatches, so I'll just hit share and I'll just hit download and we'll just download this swatch real quick. We are now in the portion of the tutorial that's a little bit more complicated for beginners. I will be using Sims 4 Studio. So how did I get Sims 4 Studio? I literally typed in Sims 4 Studio on Google. It's the first one there. And they have this little bulletin board. It says downloading and installing Sims 4 Studio. You just click on that. Close any pop-ups you get. It says downloading Sims 4 Studio and it says it requires registration. Register also allows you to post. I'm not registered, so I don't know if that's true or not, but once you've registered you should be able to get the Windows and you should be able to get the Mac. I use Sims 4 Studio Wishes because I have a PC which has a Windows, and that is what I'll be clicking on for you today. And the last time it was updated was Crystal Creations patch. I think that patch really broke a lot. You can use the beta here. It's always the beta version. You can hit download right here and it's literally telling you how to download this word for word, bar for bar. It gives you different links to use. I like the installer link. However, because of this website, sometimes the installer link doesn't work with your firewall, so use the zip folder and get it through that way. Once it's downloaded, it's here in your downloads folder. Just follow the steps to getting it to your computer. After that, once it's downloaded, it creates its own little desktop shortcut and here you are. If this is your first time in Sims 4 Studio, they do suggest to put your creator name. I suggest you just follow that. Don't know the reasoning behind it. Now that you've caught up to this screen, let us begin. This is a very useful tool. It's where you put new CC in, it's where you put recolors in and overrides in. This is where it all begins. This is the foundation to getting custom content of any sort into your game. While in Sims 4 Studio, I will show you how to recolor an object that's in the game, but I will be sharing with you guys the object I recolored that is a custom content recolor. I personally don't like to use EA's meshes because their meshes are a little low poly because it has to fit for every computer, every game style, every high PC, low PC console. So because they know it has to be universal, their mesh is a little low poly when it comes to my high-end pictures that I use. With that information in mind, let's recolor a base game item just to show you guys the key step in recoloring. For this tutorial, we will be doing an object recoloring. So you can see a standalone recolor is already set, but you can also do create 3D mesh as if you want to create your own mesh from scratch, which still learning how to do. Overrides, which we all know and love, is just an override of something that's already in the game, but you want it to look more like your aesthetic. Selective clone, I'm not too sure what that is actually, but we will be doing standalone recolor. So let's click object. It will take a while to open up to this screen as it's a lot of objects. SimsForce Studio is reading every pack file ever created by The Sims 4, so it's reading every single thing you can recolor. However, if you don't have a pack, let's say I don't have Enchanted by Nature, you can see nothing shows up because it has read that I don't have this pack even though this pack exists. I'll be using base game for this tutorial just to show you the key elements of how to recolor. Again, I will not be sharing this recolor. This is just to show you the setup. Now you can pick an item. I usually type in the word frame, and just for the sense of this recolor, we're gonna use, oh, that's a CC. We're gonna use this frame that's sitting down like this. That's kind of cool. Once you click next, it will be asking you to save a package file. I personally like to keep my recolors in a recolors file, and I'll just hit new folder and name this tutorial, and you can name whatever you want. So I'm gonna name it Marie the Simmer Tut Frame. Now the package file is what your game will be reading. It is what you place in your mods folder once you're completed. So you can name it again whatever you want. Once you hit next, you are now in the studio portion. If it's your first time in Sims 4 Studio, you might end up in warehouse view. Just flip on over to studio view. In studio view, you have a couple of tabs here. You have catalogs, texture, meshes, tags, and tuning. I will only be showing you catalog and textures in this recolor. So you can name it something that's simple for you to find. So I'm just going to name this framed pics. So it's easy for me to find. Description can be whatever you want. I usually just say recolored by me. Type it whatever. You can change the price. Let's say you only want it to be $1. You can change the ambiance if you don't want it to be imaginative. If you have heirlooms, you're like, this is not an heirloom, I don't want it to have heirlooms. You can add your own tags. So you're like, oh, I kind of want this to be farmhouse view. So when I type in or select that style, my CC pops up. That is all you do in catalog, really, is just catalog how the game will read it in build by mode. In textures, this is where we get the texture file. The texture file is a PNG, which is an image file that you will then be able to recolor. With this, you will be able to remove the pictures that EA has created and place your own pictures. So let's export this PNG file. Again, it'll end up in whatever folder you used last. So it's going to be my tutorials folder. I'm going to type this as swatch base. Just give it a name. Here we are with swatch base. Now let's head on over to our photo editing software. Here we are in Canva. I will be doing the remainder of the photo editing in Canva because it's easier for everyone to follow along and it's free. So we're going to hit create. We're gonna hit upload. You're gonna upload your file, so you're gonna have to find wherever you've saved that PNG file. Once you've had that PNG file, we're gonna open it as a new design. We're gonna use in a new design. We're gonna hit customize size. It will read the size of the image and create the new design. Here we are in the picture. Now this texture / PNG file is just a 2D print of what your CC will look like. Just keep that in mind. So if you want to keep these black borders, you shouldn't cover your picture with the borders. I will be now uploading our picture that we've just created. So just hit upload file, find wherever you've placed that magazine cover, hit open, and here we are. We've clicked onto it. Now I wanted to cover just this bottom one for this tutorial. Like so, like that. Now we have covered EA's old image. If you want to be a little bit more of a stickler and not just cover EA's image, you can erase it. Just hit erase, pixel erase, create the size of your pixel, and then start to erase EA's pic. You can do this, but it's a little tedious and you might end up removing some of the border because again, this is all seen as a 2D image that can be erased. So you can keep going if you want to. This is completely up to you. It will read the file with just the pic covering the old picture. I've covered it a little bit. We're just gonna put the same one twice just to see the big diff. We're just gonna cover up what we just worked on. I double click in order to get the crop, smart crops, just to like move my picture a little bit. And here we are. We have covered to the best of our abilities both frames. We are now going to hit share and download. We are back in Sims 4 Studio. I didn't close it down. I just minimized it. So I'm still in my package file. If you didn't hit save and you exited, you do have to do the step over, unfortunately. Now it's time to place our image on top of EA's old mesh. Hit import, find wherever you've downloaded your version, hit open. And here we are. Very cute. Actually, not gonna hold y'all, I might keep it. I might keep it, y'all. I lied. This kind of eats. Hold on. We can see there's a little bit of the old mesh showing right here. If you are a stickler, you can go back to Canva. You can go a little closer and fix that like so, like that. I think that's covered everything. Now we're gonna save it again. Okay, it's downloading. Let's go back into Sims 4 Studio, import this new version and see the big diff. There you go. See? It's now fixed. We're gonna hit save so we don't lose our work. Now another key factor is each swatch has their own border. So if you decide that you want all black borders, you can use the export that you've already done. If you want the brown border, you can just export it as well. I like to keep everything as close as possible. So I'll just go back to my tutorial folder. We're just gonna call this brown. You can open it in Canva both ways. You can just like add a page and plop it here, or you can start from scratch. And here's your second picture, and I will carry this down because it's the same perfect size. And we'll just hit download. We're gonna hit import. We're gonna find our downloads. We're gonna hit open, and voila, now I have a black swatch and a brown swatch. And that's how you would do swatches. Let's say you want 3 black swatches. You can do 1, 2, 3 new ones. And then guess what you can do? You can import new pictures there. Here is another swatch, and we can then click on the swatch you have highlighted and move it closer so you can have all your black swatches beside each other. But yeah, I'm not gonna hold y'all. I will be doing the rest of these. Give me like 2 seconds. Now here we are, finished with all the swatches of all the magazine covers that I want to add to this one. I didn't think it's going to be this cute. I wanted to show you a quick tidbit before I hit save and then head back into game. First things first, if you overdo it, you can see right here what will happen. So I didn't align this picture correctly, and now pieces of the picture is covering the frame. That is something that can happen, and so I keep in mind that when I am doing these swatches to make sure that my picture is aligned with the frame line to avoid issues of overlapping. If you do overlap and you're like, oh dang it, you can always hit import and put the properly fixed one directly on top of it, and it'll just fix itself. And that is how we recolor a base game item. I will now hit save. I have now closed Sims 4 Studio. The 2 folders I have open are my Sims 4 mods folder. That is where you put custom content for your game. If you don't know where that is, it's in your documents folder, electronic arts, the Sims 4, and then mods. That is the pathway that normally is there. So wherever your documents folder lie on your computer, that is where your mods folder will most likely be. I am now gonna place that package file that we saved earlier in the tutorial in this mods folder. This is to allow my game to now run with my CC in it, essentially. So let's hit play on the game. We're now in game. It's the only custom content I have in my game, so I'm in a whole new save file. I didn't want to go into any of my precious save files. I will type in whatever we named it in the catalog mirror. So I named it framed pics, I believe, and there it is in clutter. Framed pics. Here it is. Oh, unlocked by maxing out the performance meter in freelance as a freelance artist for the first time. Hold on, let me go and get the cheat for this. All right, so I found out it is testing. Oh my gosh, testing cheat on. This is the cheat. Ignore gameplay unlock cheat is on. So let's type in search again, and here we are. Yay, the cheat worked. Learn something new every day in this game, I swear. Here we go. Oh my gosh, guys. It's so cute. It's so cute. It's obviously not going to be as good as my high quality one that would be made with custom content, but it's still pretty cute. I like it. First swatch is the one we worked on. It's really adorable. All right, so my final tidbit is how to do this for custom content. So once you have the custom content you want to recolor, you have to find the Sims 4 Studio folder. It is also in documents, so wherever your electronic arts folder is, so is your Sims 4 Studio folder. Double click on that folder and there's a mods folder in the Sims 4 Studio as well. Double click on it and this is where all your mods will reside. So if ever a mod that you want to recolor, it has to go into this just like it would have to go into your mods folder in your game, just for systems to recognize these external things. I have already placed the one I wanted to work with, which is this one right here. I will also have it attached in the Patreon link so that you guys can also like get it, because you need it in your Sims 4 mods folder as well. So you need it in Studios mods folder and you need a copy in your Sims 4 mods folder. Here we are back in Sims 4 Studio. When you click on the object button again, you now have to click on content and custom. Here are all the custom content objects I have that to recolor. As you see, I don't have that much. I believe these come with the Sims 4 Studio actually. So I only have like these. This is the one I want to recolor, so I'll hit next. I will place it with my recolors as per usual. Alrighty, so it's now again the same steps. You can change the name. I like to keep whoever it is in the description and just say recolored mesh byeee. And we're going to go to textured, we're going to export as usual, and we're going to name this CC swatch. From here, all the same steps will apply. You will go into Canva, recolor it to your liking, and import it into Sims 4 Studio's package file that you have open here. Here is my work. This is my magazine frames. They are all complete and ready to be placed into Sims 4. Here is the difference between recoloring custom content and recoloring a base game item. The base game item is recognized by the game, so there's no need for two package files. However, because custom content recoloring is just the recoloring of a mesh that someone else has already created for the game, you need the original work and your work as well. As we can see in my Sims 4 mods folder, we now have my work alongside the mesh I have recolored, because without this mesh, my game will not recognize my work. We are back in game for one quick check. We're gonna check if my mesh is in the game. So it's framed. I forgot what I named this. Magazine framed. Here we are. Forgot what I named it for a second. Here it is, guys. Very nice. Yay, we did it. Am I gonna fix it because of the issues here? Maybe, who knows. But that's what's everybody. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Let me know if you want another one. I did say I'm gonna do 3 parts, but if you guys don't want any more, I don't have to show you guys how to do anymore. But I just wanted to show you guys real quick how to do a quick little recolor. It doesn't take as long as you think it does, and it's really fun, and it's just something to add to your game if you want it. Anyways, thank you guys so much. Have a great day.